in the scenes.
It is.
Hi.
Paul.
Hi, Helen Tudor. This is totally like, right? So when they do like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here or something like that, they do the live show on ITV and then they go over to ITV2 and everyone's just like, get the camera out of my face. Last thing I want right now is a camera in my face.
We've got to do it. We're powering through. We did a pre-event get-together. We've delivered the event. Now we're doing a post-event debrief. And if you're watching this in the LinkedIn Business Mastermind, we will be coming with the full replay to go even further behind the scenes with all of the stuff that's happened. But Paul Green, let me start by saying that was a masterclass in how to deliver a masterclass. It was incredible.
Right, isn't it?
It was so good. And I don't want to be patronizing, right? But to think that we met like 2 years ago, whatever it was, and you were a pilot and you'd not really done anything online, any kind of online, you hadn't done any sort of online promotion, you didn't know the organic marketing, definitely weren't doing webinars and pitching and all the rest of it. So like, honestly, I was like super proud. I was kind of like, wow, this is amazing. Yeah.
Do you know what I think helped? Do you know what I think does it on a pitch in particular, I think, but a webinar in general, I think when you genuinely believe in what you're selling.
Yeah, so it's easy, isn't it?
And I think that's the biggest thing. I think 2 years in business, I've slowly come through the like what I actually really care about. Like I started off with I think I care about this. I actually don't care about this. And then the sales stuff. I love sales. And that came across when I did that webinar.
Yeah.
Probably just over a year ago, wasn't it? And we sold out on that. And then, progression through to this. But yeah, you learn, don't you? You learn, you refine, you tweak, you see what works.
And so nice being a sidekick as well.
Yeah, nice. The last month has been like the biggest learning curve. Like the last month has been we've learned everything in the last month. And it was almost like this was just a point this morning where I was like, I know exactly how I'm pitching this today. I know exactly how I'm going to make 10 grand in 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, how's it gone sales wise, would you say?
It's all right. I mean, it could have been better, couldn't it? 14 sales.
14 sales of £1,000 product. You don't have to be top Mensa to work that one out.
No, it's gone amazingly well. I think when you sent me that voice note afterwards, you could tell we were both just like, ah!
We were like,
after it. 2 weeks ago when we were like, let's do a webinar.
Let's do a webinar. I was like, let's do a webinar next Thursday, week on Thursday. Yeah, let's just do that. And that was literally the amount of thought that went into it at that point. And, the presentation was slick. Like, everything was just so good.
Yeah, I mean, that's
good. Valuable, It's valuable.
Yeah, my aim always is to just make things as slick as possible. But it's so easy. This is the thing. Like, it's not like, I think when people come into our world now, they're almost a bit like, oh, this is really hard. Like, it's so slick. It's probably really hard. And it's really not. But the thing is as well, it's slick, but it still has our personality. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, it's slick, but it's not robotic.
Yeah.
It's very much still
excited at the end.
Yeah, you can tell.
It's
amazing. But that's great, and that's what I love. That's the thing I love as well. Like I never script you on these things. Whenever we do these, I'm always like, right, I've got a plan.
I had no idea what was going to happen. No idea. It was great though. Well done.
Thanks. I think we smashed it.
So what was the words that I should not ever say that got said in the voice note about what we might do in the future?
Oh, I can't remember. What did you say?
I was like,
yeah. 5-day challenge.
5-day challenge, and I was like, oh no, let's not do that.
I mean, we did say a long time ago we're going to do a 5-day challenge, and interestingly, I did voice note someone the other day who said now's not the time because she's got a load of other stuff on, and I said we'll probably do, because we're still testing this process. I think, like she said, I'm probably going to join March, April time, and I said we'll probably do a launch then, and it'll probably be a challenge.
So
I have in
it
the
is.
back of my head, like, yeah, I mean, five steps to fill your dream client, to fill your diary with dream clients. I mean, how would you split that over 5 days?
Oh my God.
Made, and it's
Yeah.
made to do it.
It'd
I
be
think
so
it'd work
good
really well as a challenge. It would work well as a challenge, but I'm not discounting it on a challenge.
No, when you were doing the pitch, I was like, this is far too cheap.
Yeah, right. That's all right, though.
No, but see, the thing is, this is what I mean about coming back to. So this would normally be a chat between Paul and I. But I was like, no, let's do it live because I think it's got valuable lessons in it. And I think for me, the most important thing about today was getting a wide range of people on, and I talked about this on the webinar, a wide range of people to join the Client Funnels Academy so we can get a real good breadth of case studies and success stories. And I think that's really important, and I think that's really going to make a big difference because we're very transparent on what we're doing, right? You know, we create the funnels, you're in the funnel, we sell you the things that make the funnel. And we're on like phase 2. There was like a pre-phase, wasn't there, when we were doing it for candidates in the
Too many phases. We did the boot camp as well. The boot camp was like the first time we taught it.
And then we did a boot camp version. Then we did like a sort of initial launch. And then now we're kind of into that next phase of getting people in and getting them through the program. And it's just now, like I said on the thing, it's like the people who bought today are going to buy over the next 24 hours. They're our angel investors, really, aren't they? Because we have our own businesses as well. So this money is going to be reinvested into ads so that we can get more people onto the next webinar that are new to us and new to our world and sort of bring more people in. And when you're looking at ads and you want to get people to come in to a webinar and you want people to convert, you need social proof, right? You need a lot of social proof, and you want to get as much social proof as you can out there because people want to look and see something that relates directly to them. So they're always trying to, in their minds, trying to get to look for what's the closest to their particular situation or the way they're feeling right now. So I know the more social proof we have, obviously the easier the ads will perform better, basically, because it's very different getting someone to click on an ad to come to something than somebody who's been watching you for years. It's very, very different, So that's the next phase, isn't it? Of getting the funnels working with stone cold traffic.
Yeah, and also knowing that the process works for such a wide variety of businesses, like we know it works for loads of businesses when my hands are on it. But what happens when we take my hands off of it and someone has to do it themselves? We already found with the beta group, like, we've created a whole onboarding module that was once one video, and it's now like there's 8 onboarding videos because every time someone goes, I can't find this, how do I do this? This doesn't make sense. It's like, okay, I'll create another video. We'll put more training in. We'll make this work for you. We'll build this out more. So it's so valuable having that community of people. And I think for us, the beta group was brilliant. But they were almost like our friends, weren't they? It was like, they know us. They know what to expect. They're really trusting of us. Yeah. We almost need the people now who don't know us and don't know what to expect.
A bit more hostile, yeah.
Not even just the
hostility, like you expect it to work,
Yeah, the beta testers know how to do their ideal client because they know what an ideal client is. They know how to create a hook, really, because they've done the headline. Like, it's not that dissimilar to that. They know how. Do you know what I mean? They know how to do all that stuff. So it's like, you've got too many of your audience when you say to people, you go into the beta group and you say, oh, introduce yourself to the group, and they start with helping.
Yeah. You're like, oh yeah, these are my people.
No, I didn't say post your headline in the group. Like, just tell me who you are and what you do. And this now feels fresh. It feels like they've tested it for us. They've found the bugs. They know it works. They get results. Now it's the next group of people who we don't know to come and break it.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Really exciting. I expect this to come up on our Facebook memories in 12 months and be like, oh, remember when we did that first Dream Clients webinar? Because I want to run it again and again and again. I just think it was so good. So valuable as a standalone piece of content, right?
Well, it's created now as well, and it exists. And I think it describes the process perfectly as well. It really sums up exactly what it is. And it's that perfect. It's that perfect thing, isn't it? It gives enough away that people can go away and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to take this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to implement this." But they obviously can't go away and do the whole process.
No, like I say, you give them as much as you can give them in the time you've got. You don't hold stuff back, but you give them as much as you can give them in the time you've got. So I think it was a great example of that, and it was just good. It was good to watch. It was interesting. It was interesting. I've co-hosted plenty of webinars in my time, and my attention was kept because I think the way it was all described and the stuff that you put out there was just really, really good and help people understand right from what even is a funnel through to like some of the nuances. And we didn't really scratch the surface on a lot of it, but yeah, it was really good.
No, there was a point where I was like, oh my God, I've got 10 minutes left.
Yeah. Amazing. So that was really, yeah, I just wanted to mark the occasion, the post. We did the pre-event, they've delivered the event. Now our adrenaline is seeping away now, isn't it? We were absolutely as kites before, weren't we?
It is. And what's funny now is, although we've made whatever it was I just said with 13 sales, we haven't actually started selling it.
No.
And I was just like, oh, there's a whole closeout that I teach that I haven't actually got ready. So
and what we did with the 93 leads or whatever we've got.
Yeah, this thing as well, like there's almost a temptation now to be like, we had a target, we've smashed the target. I could now be like, do you know what, I'm happy with where I am, I'm done. But part of me now, as well as the money, obviously it's great to like maximize the return, but it's like, how far can we push this process, like to really kind of maximize that result? We've got to go through the whole thing now. So it's like, yeah, there's more process.
So what happens next? What is the closeout plan?
So there's going to be an email sequence, as always. There'll be the replay of some kind, which I played around with it in not giving out the replay or the full replay, and I'm wondering.
There's me saying there won't be a replay.
I know. I'm not sure.
I always think it's a replay. People are going to sit and listen to it like a podcast, then, can't they? Anyway, it's up to you.
Yeah. And the thing was, you never know how these things are going to work, do you? And I thought it could be one where we don't get much engagement and there's not much interaction and there's not many questions. So sometimes I think in those situations, it's better to just deliver something really straight down the line and be like, this isn't the replay, but this is bang, 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 bang. It's basically it. But actually, that was such a good one in terms of people getting into it, people engaging with it, light bulb moments in the comment. It's like, I almost now feel like I want to share that experience with people as well. Like I want them to be part of the whole thing. So that's why I think, and why I think these kind of doing these kind of chats are really important, actually, and being transparent with it. That, if I now do decide to send out the recording, it's not a case of going, oh, that was a ploy to get people on the recording. It's now like the process changes, the process evolves, it adapts. So actually, do you know what? That is good to send out. So let's send that out. Let's send that content. So yeah, the recording will go out. There'll be a load of emails before we close it out on Sunday. There's going to be some WhatsApps going out to get some feedback from people, because again, that's really important to me, that we find out what people thought of it, what they liked, what they didn't like, what their takeaways were, what they're going to implement, and that we make sure we keep people qualified so that we have them in the right parts of our funnel. And then next week, exactly. And then next week there'll be a downsell as well. So next week we'll sell the webinar package on its own for people who didn't want to make the jump and join the full academy. Because I think, they can, we've done 13 grand in 3 hours.
And then there's this girl, I had a message today already about someone wanting to buy the whole, the upsell at 5K. So that's the lesson, isn't it? It's almost like tempting to be like, wow, that was amazing. That's the end. But that's really what we teach, is it's not the end until it's the end, till every lead has been nurtured and either put back in the nurture sequence, or they have moved into being a client, or they've decided they don't ever want to see you again. Like, you don't just leave people hanging. So it is, you got to dig deep energetically, I think, to kind of, it's almost like you go again, don't you, with the follow-up.
Yeah.
But we've got 93 people or something said they want to speak to us, so we need to filter through those people and see who's ready to move forward in it and talk to us.
Yeah, and when we were doing sales calls and I was teaching sales call strategy, the thing I always say about a sales call is make sure everybody has an action, make sure everybody has a takeaway. And I think that's the thing now that we need to make sure that every single person, whether they watched it or not, whether they signed up or not, well, obviously it will be the ones that signed up, whether they bought or not, has a takeaway action in some way. So, and that's the next stage. So, did you buy the program? Brilliant. We know what your action is. If you didn't buy it, why didn't you buy it? And that's fine. If it's a financial thing, then we have something we can offer you that will get you cash fast in exactly the same way, but it's smaller. And then if that's still not right for you, then what are you going to do? How are you going to take what we taught you today and really use it? So it's keeping those conversations alive, isn't it? You don't, like you said, it's not, that was the whole point today, wasn't it? The funnel doesn't end with the delivery. Like it's only the beginning now. Now we're into that circle that we talked about today, and it's making sure that we keep them in there until they're ready to take the next steps.
I love that.
And I'm going to have a nap.
Yeah, I've got to go and write a LinkedIn profile now and go for a walk and make chili. So I've got a lot to cram in. But
I've got to take swimming in half an hour.
Oh, enjoy.
I know. I'll be sending some WhatsApps while I'm there.
Yeah. All right. Cheers, Paul. Thanks, guys.
Pleasure as always.